Welcome back. This is Business Now, touching base with the fashion industry and how it is recovering as we continue to reopen the economy following the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm here with Anyango Adede and Dianga or Chino. I honestly always want to call you by your brand names. So, you know, like I'm here with Zanta and Ginene, but, you know, I have to remember that, you know, there's your names. I mean, let's talk about, Dianga, with you, about, you know, the capital, raising capital, because you mentioned that you had to shut down production for a while, you had to keep operations running. What is your experience with funding for your sector? And, you know, are banks open, microfinance institutions? You know, what's the funding space like? Because a lot of what they're funding is an idea.
Well, funding is also usually a very touchy subject, and that's because I think sometimes they're looking for businesses that are successful and not growing businesses. So sometimes we'll apply here and they already have an idea of what or who they're looking for, because it's been my experience. At the beginning of the year, I did 2 courses. One was Tony Elumelu. I didn't manage to get the, you know, I became a fellow, but I did not get I wasn't able to secure the funding. And then I did African Women Entrepreneurs or something. One of the, So, and of course there, it's also like a, what is it called, like a small pie that everyone is looking to get. So, in fact, a lot of the businesses, a lot of my financing has come from savings, because I taught myself to because I was working and running a business at the same time. Are you running it now full-time? Yes, I'm running it now full-time.
So this is what you do for a living?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just had to get into the discipline of saving. At least 10% of my earnings, I made sure that it went into savings. So that downturn, at least I had something to fall back on. I had a ceiling, so I just didn't necessarily crumble.
Have you approached the traditional lenders, banks?
Yes, and I'm sure they would give me, but I'm also paranoid about getting loans and stuff. But there's also an institution that I took a course with. It's called Synapis, and they have this microfinancing lenders, and, you know, I just forget the particular name, but if you apply and you tick all the boxes, they should be able to give you funding. And now I tick the boxes, but I think when I applied back then, about 5 years back, I didn't qualify. Because then I don't think I had a bank account in my business name. I did not have, you know, like things were not in order the way they are now.
And tell us a little bit about that, things being in order. Because it's creative, but you are running a business at the end of the day. So tell us about how you have institutionalized quite a bit of what you're doing, you know, bank accounts, keeping books, all those things that you say tick the boxes, and why you feel that's now important for you.
In my previous job I was an administrator. So I used to do it and I did it really well. So I decided, if I can do this at my job, I can do this for my business. So I decided to be keeping books. Like, if I spend this amount, it will go into a record. And I use Excel. I don't use any fancy app yet. And, you know, there are tax calculators online and stuff. So if you need to get that stuff in order, then you're able to actually get it in line. And I decided that every time I'm earning, because sometimes people pay in cash, sometimes people pay in M-Pesa, and it doesn't go directly to your account. I forced myself, don't use that money before it's hit the account, because then now you're building something that's called a credit record. And you have to be credit worthy before they give you a loan. And they'll not see how, they're not going to, lenders, this is just how lenders are. They need to be able to see the books.
And how much money is coming in,
how much is going out. And how much is going out is really how you're using your capital. Because, and I still am yet to master that, but it's once those things are set in place, because now you'll have a bank statement and it will have the logo of the bank or the logo of the institution, and that has made me, that in itself has opened doors for me. In fact, for over people who are my seniors in the business, because we went and bid somewhere, they didn't have their banking records, they had them in their internet whatevers, but I had my physical copies. So I think it's very important, because if a lender is going to give you money, the numbers will speak for you. And in this case, they don't lie.
That's absolutely true. Anyango, you talked about, you know, online and doing quite a bit of that and pivoting there. Do you think that has helped quite a bit? Because, you know, I guess the foot traffic, you know, into the store was not as much as, you know, it used to be. So tell us how much more you harnessed social media. I mean, I think Dianga told us about how active you are on social media on your personal page, but, you know, how much more did you start to do with your own brand?
I started concentrating on more. I keep running with the word cross-marketing because it is quite the game that helps us push brands. So you're able to partner with other different brands and push sales. So when let's say you will be online and reading news, and every time you tag the store and say your clothes are from Zanta Adede store, your jewelry is from, I mean, it gives us a boost. It's a sort of a free marketing, but works magic on us. Yeah.
So the cross marketing and using quite a bit of social media and online.
A lot of it.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
And I think that helps, especially with what you're talking about. You know, visual.
Yes.
People just need to see it.
Yeah. Practicability.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then they say, okay, this is something, you know, I definitely want to
that
buy.
Look, that whole entire look.
Yeah. And so that just goes beyond, you have made your product, so you've made either your jewelry or your bags, and you're like, this is what it is. Yeah. But you want to show people how this works with everything
else. How to style everything.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Can we talk about what you need to do, or what sort of, here's that word, Anyango?
Yes.
Support. From let's start with government. You know, has there been enough support? And now tell us why you don't like the word support before we now get into interventions, I think I'll call them.
Like I said before, support is more of a way, like you're helping a creative. Yeah. All creatives are people who are at work. They pay bills, they pay tax, they buy food, they buy clothes. I mean, it is a career like any other. So when you come to the store and say, I'm supporting you, it doesn't really encourage the brand to grow. So when you walk into, I don't want to use names, but if you walk into another store, you'll just go and swipe your card. But when you come to a creative store, you start with the discount discussion.
So the word support leads to discount?
Yeah, I'm supporting you, so give me an idea.
Okay.
These people sit down the whole night to create what you have come to like. And it's like an undermining sort of. But the moment we realize that designers are also at work, then we will move forward. And I like the fact that the government has insisted on Made in Kenya Fridays, which is quite, it excites me every time it's Thursday, and you can see people wearing Made in Kenya.
Are you seeing some sort of changes with that directive?
A lot. I have like clients who buy stuff for every Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they say, we want a look for this Friday. We have corporate companies approaching us to create looks for every Friday.
I see.
We have like this is a current product I'm working on khakis. So you can have your khaki branded with your name and phone number. Just in case you misplace it, somebody will call you and you'll have it back.
That's a nice, decent way of putting your khakis on the table.
Yes. Like you're at a party and it's lost, you'll definitely get it back, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if not support, what is it that we should be doing, like from a consumer perspective, with creatives? So it's not support. What is it? It is?
It's a consumption, generally. Basically, the way it is...
so the way I buy milk and bread?
Yes.
Okay.
Just normalize luxury. I mean, I like good things. I'll go to this store, I'll buy. I'll go online and buy. You don't go with
do you get the sense that, and it's important what you said, especially with the, you know, buy Kenya, build Kenya. And there's that, you know, I want a discount, and why does it cost so much? And I can get, you know, the same thing, either that's imported or secondhand, to the extent that now, maybe the buy Kenya, build Kenya has become, like you say, you know, and, you know, but because I'm helping you, give you a discount. Is that, do you think, where it's coming from?
I think it will change. It has been changing because most Kenyans are embracing Made in Kenya. Because I would like to think when you travel and walk into a Gucci, do you try and mention I'm supporting Gucci? Do you say that?
That is a very good analogy. Yeah. That's a very good analogy. I don't even think Gucci would care for my so-called support. It's just, here's the product, we've worked on it.
We need to change the mindset that designers are also, it's a profession like any other. And even though we are terrible at our mathematics, bookkeeping and all that, but we are very keen on what we bring on the table. There's quality, there are processes checked. I mean, we invest generally to have that product look the way it does. Yeah.
And because like Dianga mentioned, even with the sort of materials that she picks for, you know, her products, hypoallergenic. So you're putting some thought and effort into the standards and, you know, the eventual procedures, what will happen or what the consumer receives in the end. That is, you know, it's a good product.
It's 100% good quality.
100% good quality.
And we get replicated a lot of times. But then we keep going, because if you're not copied, then you're not doing anything right.
Okay. Dianga, you have the final word, you know, as to where you think this is headed. What are your plans, I think, for the next, you know, the festive season is coming. Economy has been reopened, at least the curfew was lifted. And we're starting to see quite a bit. I mean, you know, there's concerts, there's people are going to restaurants, people are going out, weddings and church and, you know, whatever other social functions that people participate in. So what do you see, you know, going forward for the industry and for your business?
I think I'd like to piggyback from where she left off. I think the thing is to really enlighten a lot of us to, well, at least educate the Kenyan populace that good things actually come from Africa. Because I find that that's the fallacy. And even I have had to grow, as I've said, adulting is difficult. Like if I'm selling my pair of earrings from between 2,500 to 3,000, surely I can afford a made in Kenya that's 5,000 or and above in terms of clothing and stuff. So I see the future really is, and I was hoping that the education system or the curriculum would include art again, because I did art in school and I was very good in it. And in fact, I think I was the highest student when I cleared in high school. But you see, that's not the case with our students. They have to, they're learning online and it's a lot of DIYs and stuff. But I think if it was re-inculcated into the system, and I think this thing is coming from that education system, because people did woodwork and metalwork if they failed.
Like if they are not considered intelligent. And I think that's where that fallacy comes from. And I mean, I have to sell my product. It takes more than just making the product. Selling it is a science on its own, aside from the art. So this season usually is a season, fair season, which means that we'll have a lot of outside events that we are going for, or what do I call outdoor? So there's Xbox, which we are going for. It's taking place between 19th to 21st of this month at the Marula Mana in Karen. So that's this coming weekend. And then there's going to be also Beach Bars. And then maybe you can talk about Tribal Chic.
Oh, we will be at the Tribal Chic. The Tribe Hotel is reopening, so we will be on the runway with amazing designs from the store. And of course, we will offer discounts as well for Christmas shopping.
Absolutely.
Just maybe my final comment. In fact, Kenya is a production house. I know of brands, without mentioning names, that produce for the international market, even our EPZs. And those things go there and they sell at an arm and a foot. And I think that, and not support, just buy because it's a good thing. The way you go and decide, okay, today I'm having Nutella, whatever Nutella means to me, it's a spread. Just like anybody else. Not because, oh, a Blue Band is bad or whatever. No, buy a good product just because it is a good product, and good things actually come from Africa.
That's true. That's true. And I think that's a good place to leave it, understanding what's happening, and hopefully things get better as we go. But like you said, lots of lessons learned in terms of running your business properly, and I like what you said about that, and you know, using online marketing and you know, pivoting in different ways, and learning how to do that. Thank you both very much for speaking with us here on the program.